is Mr. Ron Aledo, who has a very, very specialized background. He's a former United States Army officer and a former CIA analyst. And actually, he has done a lot of intelligence and security and work. He has written papers, white paper for the White House Intelligence Council, etc., etc. So combined, we have more than 120 years of practical wisdom, experience, scholarship, professional experience amongst these four distinguished panelists. Paul, Mr. Ron Aledo, to talk about his views on India-US relationship because of his military and security background. So, Mr. Aledo, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate for the invitation today. Can everyone hear me well? Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna share my screen real fast. You allow me 1 second, please. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Ron, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna talk real fast. I'm very limited with time today, so I'm going fast. I apologize for any issue. From my viewpoint, I have to see this relationship between the United States and India uh, based on the difficulties that right now the United States have with India. And the main difficulty that the United States have with India right now is India's way of neutrality in the conflict with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. That's how I see it from a security and military viewpoint. And I'm going to explain myself really, really fast. Thank you very much for the introduction. As the doctor said, I'm a former U.S. Army officer. I was a CIA analyst contractor. I was at the Pentagon for 5 years as a Joint Staff Intelligence and Operation Officer. I was in Afghanistan several times, 4 times in 2011, 2012, 2014, 2015. I was advisor to the Afghan police. Right now, I run a consulting agency from Miami, Florida. I do international consulting in security, geopolitics, and military issues. India and the United States, they have usually, normally, a mutual benefit relationship from the economic viewpoint. Obviously, the United States looks into India for investments. The growth of India, the Home Minister of India asked me this personally when I was in New Delhi a few years ago, and I told His Excellency, listen, sir, we look into you as a growth opportunity. Your growth is bigger than the growth we have in the United States. You are a growing economy. We look for investments. It was a real honor to know the Home Minister of India back in 2017 and 2018 when I went to New Delhi. Uh, the United States also look into India from the military viewpoint as a partner in confronting blocks, stop, call it as you want, China. The United States want to stop some way the growing of China or the threat of China those to the South China Sea. And the United States look into these democratic alliances of India, Australia, even Philippines now, etc., as a way to counter China influence. Um, Obviously, the United States give hundreds, thousands of investors visa to Indian people. It's famous here in the United States. The Mumbai investors, we call it, the Mumbai people that come here and open new businesses, create employment. They get the business visa. That's a very healthy relationship and mutual benefits for the United States. Who can deny it? About 15% of U.S. medical doctors are of Indian origin. That obviously is a help and a healthy contribution, literally healthy contribution to the United States. When we go to all hospitals, we go to all specialists, about 10, 15%, perhaps more of medical doctors in the United States are of Indian relations origin. And obviously, we have a very productive Indian migrant population in the United States that grows every year. And contrary to many other populations of migrants that come into the United States, the Indian population remains one of the healthiest, more productive, successful one in the United States. So that is a mutual benefit relationship that we usually have between the United States and India. The main problem, as I say, is Russia. The whole war has changed since February 2022. I want to refer myself to the former Chancellor Helmut Kohl, advisor and assistant. The German Chancellor Kohl, advisor and assistant, said once in a press conference, when you do what the United States wants you to do, they hug you. They hug you so strong that they want to crush your ribs because of a love hug they give you, the United States. But when you don't do what the United States wants you to do, they perhaps hate you and they begin to talk bad about you. How dare you not do what we tell you to do? Shame on you. So that was this very important to understand how the U.S. foreign policy works. Those words of the former assistant of Chancellor Kohl are very, very important to understand the U.S. mentality when they approach foreign relations and foreign affairs. To be honest, the United States really don't want equal partners. Yes, of course, verbally they say we want equal partners, we're equal partners, we are the same status with Europe, with Germany, with India, with Philippines, with Dominican Republic, with everybody, we're equal partners. In reality, not de jure, but de facto, the United States want people to follow their lead, people to do what the United States wants them to do and to say what the United States wants them to say. And currently, the big problem is that the United States is angry and frustrated with India not turning against Russia. The United States wants the whole world to openly and strongly support, 100% blindly support the Kiev regime and declare economic war and condemn Russia strongly without any reservation. Kiev regime is the good guys, Russia is the bad guy, it's a monster, it's a demon, it's terrible, it's a dictator, and you have to do it. If you don't do it, you are not going to be loyal to the United States. You have to be loyal to the United States, and that's how you prove to the United States that you are loyal. You have to be 100% behind the Kiev regime and 100% in the economic war against Russia. That is the United States position, and that is the problem with India. India has a long, strong relationship with Russia, even from the Soviet times until today. And that is something that India is not willing to change right now because of the pressure from the United States. That is the main, as we say, stone in the rock, stone in the shoe, the pain on the hip, as we call it sometimes. That's the big elephant in the room between the United States and India right now. India has a strong military ties. The carriers from the Indian Navy are basically Soviet-made. India has a strong military to military, and right now economic relationship with Russia. The United States is angry at India buying Russian oil. The United States is angry at India because they are not 100% behind their economic war against Russia. They are not 100% with the Kiev regime against Russia. And some European experts and some American experts, they want and demand sanctions against India. Biden said that the situation with Russia and India is unresolved. That is the rock in the shoe, the stone in the shoe. That is the problem that the United States have right now with India. Some Americans, they clamor the United States to sanction India. They want to be punished by their foreign policy. They want to diminish and reduce the diplomatic engagement with India because of how India is behaving with its relationship with Russia.
Ron, can you conclude in 1 minute, please?
Okay, not immediate sanctions against India right now. Perhaps visa sanctions, perhaps more tariff sanctions. They are some of the tools that the United States might use against India. After the coup against Imran Khan in Pakistan, perhaps the United States may use Pakistan, a stronger relationship with Pakistan, just to put pressure on India. And remember, the United States always had the possibility and probability. This is the last tool in its toolbox of promoting a regime change, a Maidan revolution, a color revolution in India. That's why India has to be alert that the United States don't use that resource. I believe that the solution is what the foreign minister of India is promoting. India has its own way. India has its own right to follow its own path. India has 15% of the world population. Is an economic engine, one of the economic engines of the war because of the population, because of their presence in international affairs in the BRICS. So India has its own way. And I really believe that India should follow what the foreign minister is saying. Remain immune to pressures and follow a path that will only benefit India's way.
The irritants in the bilateral relationship, I am very happy that you very, cogently summarize the you are with us or you are against us attitude of United States State Department towards various countries. Now